Hi, and welcome to the Art of Spiritual Sleep. My name is Wendy Rosenthal, and I am your co-host alongside Kabbalistic sleep and dream expert Mordechai Ballas. Hi, Mordechai. How are you today?
I'm great, Wendy. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I am still happy from our last episode.
I had such a good night's sleep. I guess it's because of the happiness of the people.
I think so. I think the
It's
more happy
awakened.
people there are, the better we are sleeping for sure. There's no question. We are here with you every week, revealing deep and insightful secrets about sleep and dream based on and through the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah. Every week, we try and give you not only the insights, but some tips and exercises and lessons about sleep symbols so that you can better your sleep, better your dreams, and therefore better your awakened day.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
oh, yeah, Mordecai has a mission. And I'm very grateful to be along that mission with him to literally help every single person in this world, 7 billion plus, sleep better and dream better. Because when all of us do, it's kind of like the boat is rising and everybody gets better sleep. So we're happy to have you along for the mission. This series, we are exploring what we're calling cosmic customer care. Those are the entities and energies in the metaphysical world that help us enhance our sleep and dreams. And right now, we are in the midst of talking about angels and how we can align ourselves and have a better communication and engagement with angels in order to help with that. And right now, we're talking about the prerequisites. Last week, we talked about
Oh,
happiness.
yes.
And this week, we're talking about simplicity. Before we
Right.
get there, I want to remind everybody to please stick around till the end of the episode because we have our two great features. The first is the language of dreams, where Mordecai shares a sleep symbol of the week so that you can learn how to interpret your own dreams and maybe even help somebody out with theirs. And then we have something to sleep on, where, like I said, you get some tips, some exercises, some meditations, all in an effort to make sure that your sleep is better. All right, Mordecai,
Absolutely.
talk about simplicity.
And, the angels are working very hard to make sure that all of us, all the world, all humanity are sleeping better. Think about it, right? Like there's going to be no wars, less conflicts, less personal aggravation, more healing when people are sleeping more and more and better. So let's just keep it in mind. It's really counterintuitive in so many ways, right? I mean, that people think, I'm not saying we, people think that if they sleep, they're missing something. And it's so many times the opposite, that sometimes another 20 minutes, another 30 minutes of quality sleep can make a huge shift in your whole day,
Yeah.
and that affects your decisions and your decision making ability, and it's affecting everything. So going back to simplicity, because really the goal of what we're doing here is very simple. Why simplicity to begin with? I mean, um, just because. Why do we need why do we need a complicated answer? I
That's it. We're
remember.
done. It's just because.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you for joining us. Really great having you, and we can move to the next episode. And it reminds me, actually, one of the times, uh, in one of the windows in time that we connect with in the Kabbalah Center is called Shavuot, which in Shavuot is actually the essence of the goal for why the center, the Kabbalah Center, has been established, which is to bring the end to pain, the end to suffering, and the end to death for all humanity. That's the goal of the Kabbalah Center. We use the vehicle of the wisdom of Kabbalah to accomplish that goal. So I remember one student approached my teacher, Rav Berg, and said, I don't get it. Why the Kabbalah Center? Um, why your goal is to bring an end to pain, suffering, and death? And you would think like the Rav Berg would give this individual like a long answer. And Rav looked at him and said, Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, why not? Why not? So why not simplicity? This is it. And it's just that the force of creation is simple. Um, our body functions the way we're created. Yes, it's very detailed, like how a child comes to this world from the very beginning to the actual birth. It seems like it's complicated. There's a lot of details. It doesn't mean that it's complicated, but it's like every organ of our body knows exactly what to do. Every cell of our body knows exactly what to do. It's simple. So I'm just saying, it doesn't mean that simplicity is necessarily easy. A lot of people might confuse, right? Simplicity with like
Well,
easy.
I mean, you and I, we go through these shows before we present them, and we were talking about this topic, and even you and I were having a deep discussion about really what the definition of simple means, because
Right,
we were talking, this is all about angels and connecting with the angels and the
right,
prerequisites for that, right? And so angels are simple, but if
right,
explain what angels, how they're simple, we're different in that respect, and it's harder for us. But if you say, an angel has one job, right?
right. One job. They're very task oriented in the sense that technically, spiritually, technically, you cannot give more than one task to an angel. They have to either finish the task or they have to send one of their colleagues to perform that task. And sometimes we look even at people and we say, wow, this person, wow, they're like great multitasker. And the answer is, even in the world of computers, those that have background with computers, there is no such a thing as multitasking. It's
Right.
just that this individual or even the computer has multi-processors, but it's just that you have more computing power. So having the fact that one task after another is done fast, it doesn't mean that it's multitasking.
Right.
So angels can be very quick also in what they do, in what they accomplish. They can be quick in supporting you with your prosperity, with finding the right person to be with bringing love, with improving your sleep, improving your dreams. Doesn't have to be long.
Right. It doesn't mean that it's not that it's again, we were talking about it. It's not that it isn't about a number of tasks or that the task in and of itself isn't complicated. That's the that's kind of the fine line, right?
Yeah, but every complicated task can be broken into a set of simple instructions.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right?
So
If I tell you right now to solve this riddle, this math riddle, or like any challenge, one of the best approaches is to try to break it down.
right.
We can even go into a meeting and like the person we meet with is like shooting everywhere, and like you can say like, okay, pause for a moment, I want you to break it down for me. And what we're actually asking is, I want you to simplify it for me, not to
Exactly.
dumb it down. It's not compromising on the depth. Simple doesn't mean silly or stupid. Simple means one task at a time in that sense.
Right. And or it means focused, right? So
Right,
this is again what we were talking about. It was so interesting because the definition of it, like when we think simple, like you're saying, it's like, oh, so it must be easy, or it must not be a lot of things, or it's, and we kind of agreed after talking about it for a while, it's not that. It's, you can have a lot of things going on, but if you
right,
know what your end game is or what your objective is, if that is the
right,
simple part, where do
right,
you want to go?
right. So you might want to write this down if you can, right? The definition, one of the possible definitions of simplicity is that you have a clear objective um, about whatever it is that you want to do. So you have a clear objective. That's what pulls you forward. So for example, let's say I need to make a decision. Do I have right now with all of you, with Wendy, do I have right now the live broadcast, or am I going to read a book? And I really want to read this book. So what's my clear objective, right? So one of my clear objectives is I want to better people's sleep. I want to better uh, humanity's sleep and the dreams also as a result. And I get from it so much. But I really want to read the book. Now, if I don't have the clear objective, it would be like a struggle.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I should, yeah, like there's pros and cons, and I don't know if I should do this or not. Well, maybe I can read the book later. Maybe I can I can do this live broadcast on a later time. We'll just let people know it's a different time today. But if I have a clear objective, I will know its simplicity, which again doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Like I really want to read the book, but I know its simplicity that the right thing to do right now is to do the live broadcast with you. And by the way, it's also true, let's say in relationships. You
Mm-hmm.
might have an argument with someone that you really love. And if you have a clear objective of where is this, what do you want this relationship to go to, then even if you're having an argument or that person is having a challenge that day, if you have this clear objective, you will not go in your mind to all those movies necessarily, like, what should I say? Or how do we get out of this? And it's like not clear. Wait a second. I know why I'm in a relationship with this individual. I know the energy that we generate together. So we're having like a bump or there's something going on, but I know its simplicity, even though it's not an easy moment, but I know its simplicity. That's the right person to be in a relationship with.
Yeah,
Right?
it's kind of like if you reframe a little bit what you were saying about the angels, it's not even that they just have one task. They just have one clear objective,
Right.
right? It might
Right.
be that there are many tasks to get them to that clear objective. And that's
Right.
also why, like you were saying, the archangels look like they're multitasking. Well, they just have multiple objectives and they're just very
But
clear on how to get
it's
there.
important, yeah, it's important to say that all angels have one objective, very simple, which is to be of service. Because the higher objective is to fulfill the mission they were sent to. And by them fulfilling the mission, they get a greater affinity with the force of creation. They already have an affinity, but it's almost like, I would say, like a pet that wants to make their owner happy,
Happy. Right.
right? So sometimes, many times, the pet will do
Not if
things.
you have a cat, though. No, I'm
Well,
teasing.
that's a different story, I guess. But it's true with dreams. It's also true with sleep. When you have a clear objective of what you want to accomplish from your sleep, from this upcoming night, or what you want to accomplish with the dream, it's funny because even the Kabbalists say, um, it's called in Hebrew she'elat chalom, like to ask a question in a dream. And it's in singular, it's not in plural. It's not like dream questioning.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have, it doesn't mean you would ask more, only one question, but you have to have one objective at a time of what you want to accomplish before you go to sleep. And that makes your sleep more effective, more simple. It makes your dreams more elevated because those dreams, and we already said before that the simpler the dream, the simpler the sleep, the simpler the dream, the higher the quality of the dream. And if you ever had the chance to do with me the Kabbalistic dream interpretation, one of the questions is, was the message clear and simple, or it was like very complicated? If someone tells me in a dream interpretation session that the dream was like, there's so much going on, that's okay. but so much complexity. As they already shared the dream, I know that most of it is not really meaningful.
Right.
And
So,
it's a great way to gauge the quality of the dream.
so you know what I think is so interesting,
Yes,
of in what we're going through right now, and kind of the prerequisites to working with the angels to help, for them to help us with our sleep and dreams, is that actually they're kind of prerequisites to work with angels to help our lives be better in general as
right,
well. So
right,
it's really nice, because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how many times have I wished personally that I could be simple about things, that I could see
right.
things clearly, right? And having the help of the angels and aligning myself with them and allowing them to help me in that in general would be great. Having them help me in my sleep and dreams, that makes it easier for me in the day to do that, is even better.
And it's interesting because you're absolutely right, Wendy, and it's really essential for us. If we want to better our lives, of course, we will better our sleep and dreams as a result. But if we want to better our lives and we want to receive a great assistance from the angels, we want to strive to be more simple. And one of the main ways, the most beneficial ways to become simpler and simpler about things is to continuously, every time you need to make a decision, every time something is complex, is to remind yourself what's the objective.
Right.
Like um, just before our live broadcast, I was almost late to the live broadcast. I got an urgent phone call from a student that was going through something, and she needs to make it's a business decision that she needs to make. And there's so many details to the deal. And, what do you say, right? So I spent the time breaking it down with her and finding the objective. And then after that, I said, you know what? I don't have yet a clear answer, because that's something that I learned from my teacher, from the Rav, that if Rav Berg gets a situation and Rav Berg says, like, that I don't have one solution that is simple, and simple means light.
Right.
So if the solution is not simple, then the Rav Berg would say, you know what, I need to sleep on it. you know so the ability to go further back. So I needed to make another 2 phone calls, and at the beginning the person didn't answer, but they need to get an answer in 30 minutes. Well, it has to be simple, and they ended up calling me back, and at the end the answer was so simple, and the student was so happy that now they know what to do, and they already knew what to do,
Right.
but it was just vague because it was complex for them.
Yeah, and I think that we forget how to keep it simple, right? Because
Yeah.
again, I think we complicate what simple means.
Even the
And I
phrase, right?
also
Keep it simple. The
keep it simple.
phrase.
But I also want to say, that you've already said it, but it's worth saying again, that simple doesn't mean easy. Because by the way, if you just say easy, then you probably aren't making the best decision. Because if it's the easy way out, then probably it's not about easy. It's
No.
about the fewest, like, there's no clutter around it,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
just a very
Like
neat.
like sometimes I'm in a session, one-on-one session, or even in the episodes, and I know with simplicity that I should elaborate on that point, even though it's like I have this uncomfortable feeling, I don't want to take too much of the time of this individual, and it's also an effort for me to go now and explain in a deeper way, but I know with simplicity, because I know my objective. I
Right.
know with simplicity, I have to elaborate now another 2 minutes, another 3 minutes just about that part. So
Right.
many times, actually, the simple and the not easy, they go together, because it's taking you outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
So, just to keep it in mind. Even the archangels, which they seem to be like really like they're doing, oh, it looks like they seem way more than one task. And we already mentioned it before that it's like, imagine they carry the software, the operating system of that energy, like the angel Michael, who is the energy of kindness and sharing and mercy. He's, by the way, he's connected to Abraham, the patriarch, but they walk together. Abraham works in the customer support of the through the chariots, like human being that perfected this, and Michael, the angel Michael, is the angel that is in the customer department of in the customer support of the angels. So also Michael, you know, when we, let's say, invite the angel Michael to help me now to share in the most kind way and in the most merciful way, most of the chances it's not the angel Michael himself that is going to come and support you. He's sending a copy of his software to support you. It feels great. It feels you have the angel with you, like you have tons of computers and devices that have the same operating system. And I'm not going to promote one or another. And everyone has a beautiful experience with the operating system. So I'm not having the same operating system. I don't have the same device, even though our devices are identical, let's say, but the way we use them is in a different way.
Right.
Just keep in mind, even the angel Gabriel, those archangels, they're awesome. They're very powerful, but you might want to think about it that they do one task, which is clone their software, their operating system, to everyone that is in need.
All right. So just to keep it simple.
Yeah.
So basically, in order to align better with the angels, to get their support, to help not only your sleep and dreams, but your life in general, happiness and simplicity. And with simplicity, the goal is to try and have very clear objectives for what you're doing,
Yes.
so that you can always keep things very simple, not easy, but simple. And it doesn't
But
mean not
yeah,
multitasking. It just means
right.
knowing that in each task, what your objective is and where you want to go.
And simple is also clear. I mean, if you find yourself, like I would ask you, and I do that many times in different sessions, like I would ask someone, like they would ask me, how would I know that it's the right thing to do? So I would answer like, do you love your child, or do you love, um, like something that is very obvious? And they say, yes, of course, right? And I say, why? So they said, what do you mean? Because this, because it is. And I said, you see, you didn't give me like a 3-minute explanation on why you love your child. I'm just giving it as an example, right? So this is simplicity. Simplicity is you don't even need to explain so much,
Right.
because it is.
Because it is like we started off today.
Yeah.
Just
And what you said, the phrase, keep it simple, is a very important phrase, because it's ongoing maintenance. And yeah, we will be having the challenge to be pulled in different directions. But if the emphasis is on the word keep.
Yep.
If you manage throughout the day to keep it simple, then you keep your connection with the angels.
And not only do you keep your connections with the angels, but remember, the dreams that are more of providence and prophetic are the simple ones.
Right.
So you're aligning yourself with the types of dreams that you want to
Absolutely.
have every night.
Absolutely.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And when you go to sleep, there's no need for a greater operation of the angels, because it's one or two or very few, let's say, that are in charge, because you're already simple. They have more quality, less
Right.
quantity.
Right. Like
So
we talked about a couple of episodes ago.
yeah,
All right, folks, keep it simple. And now we will
absolutely.
simply move to the language of dreams and the sleep symbol of the week.
Yeah, so we chose a very simple symbol for you today. It's funny because we were debating which symbol should we bring up, and something came up, but it didn't feel it's really bringing the message home. And really keep it in mind that you have to have the objective, right? What's the objective of even giving you the symbol? So because we have the objective of improving your sleep and improving your dreams, that pulled us to the place of choosing drums, please.
Oh, sorry.
A pear, which means like the fruit, right? Not
Fruit.
a pair of yeah, anything, right? The fruit. So the fruit is when you see a pear in a dream, it actually means simplicity. And you know, even if you think about the fruit itself, the pear, it's a simple fruit. It's not like a symphony of tastes. It's like a simple taste, very basic. You don't need like most of the chances, you know, you don't need to peel something, you know, you just eat it. It just is.
Yeah.
Okay, so so when you see yourself, when you see a pear in a dream, it's connecting you to simplicity, and it's also associated with simplicity. And if you see yourself eating a pear, if the pear is sweet in the dreams, if it's a sweet pear like ripe, that means you're simply going to have sweet life,
Hmm.
sweet life. You have assistance, you have support, and also on the other hand, if the individual sees himself eating the pear and it's not ripe yet or it's sour, also the individual is going to have a simple, challenging situations, challenging life. It's not going to go smoothly. It's not going to go relatively easy. So, but it's still simple. Doesn't change the fact. As a side note, also the Kabbalists say that if a woman, let's say, is pregnant and she dreams about pears, she's going to have a girl. But that's a side note.
Can I ask just do you have to be eating the pear or can you see a pear and dream?
Just the pear is simplicity.
Okay.
But eating the pear is a form of manifestation. It
Okay.
becomes a part of you.
Okay. So if you're not eating the pear and you see a pear, then
Yeah, like let's say cutting a pear, peeling a pear, it's like you are revealing the simplicity, the simple process in your life.
okay, perfect. All right, and something to sleep on.
So something to sleep on, we want to give you an exercise that you can do every day for 15 minutes. And that is going to give you the support to reprogram, train, upgrade your mind, upgrade your consciousness to be simple. And that's to use the name from the 72 names of God for clearing your consciousness, clearing your thoughts, purifying the mind. And it's like the hand sanitizer for the brain. And just simply look at the sequence, the 3-letter sequence, and we're going to provide it to you also with some music in the background if you wish. And you just create an eye connection for 15 minutes. And every time a thought comes in, let the eyes be the window to the soul and let it come in. And every time that a thought comes in, oh my God, I need to take care of this. I need to just refocus. No, don't fight it. Just refocus on those 3 letters. And what it does, it trains the mind, the subconscious and the conscious mind to become simpler and simpler. So every time in life that you will be pulled in different directions, the Ein Lamed Mem, that name is focusing you on that objective, and that brings the simplicity.
Sounds simple.
Yeah, and the essence is the exercise that you don't fight. This is the essence
Right,
of the exercise, that you don't fight the thoughts that come in.
right.
You just refocus on the Ein Lamed Mem.
I love it. All right. We'll keep it simple. We'll continue to keep it simple and happy. And for all of the information that we have, including the replays of this episode and all of the materials we offer, you can find that on our social media sites, which is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. So please subscribe to any of these so that you can consistently get this information. And also, since we are simply trying to ensure that everybody in this world has great sleep and dreams, please share this with anybody that you know that you feel would benefit. And since we know that everybody in the world would benefit because everybody in the world sleeps and dreams,
Yes.
pass it along to as many people as you know. We thank you as always for being with us. If you are interested in getting a dream interpretation from Mordecai, please email him at dreams@kabbalah.com. And for information on booking the Art of Spiritual Sleep program, which is one-on-one with Mordecai, you can email him at theartofspiritualsleep@kabbalah.com. We thank you as always. We look forward to your feedback and comments. If you have any questions, please put it into the comment sections on all the social media platforms, and we will make sure we get back to you during the week.
Yes, keep it simple. Keep up the work with the angels and feel free to share with us your beautiful experiences. Good
Exactly.
night.
Good night.